for more, we can bring in Susan Collard, Senior Lecturer in French Politics and Contemporary European Studies at the University of Sussex. Thank you very much for joining us on the programme today. Now, Barnier says that his government will be a broad church, politically speaking. Just how big is the task ahead of him?
Huge. First of all, he's got to get enough people into his government. And if he really wants to show it's a broad church, he's going to have to convince people from the left. It's not that obvious who from the left will want to join. There could be a few people, maybe like Ségolène Royal, I don't know, a few others who aren't associated with the Nouveau Front Populaire, or I think it's going to be difficult for him to bring in enough people from the left, probably, to make it convincingly a coalition. But his task, once he's got that government, is to put forward a projet. What's he going to say in his speech for his politique générale in the National Assembly, and then of course the budget this autumn. That's going to be the big thing. How is he going to get the budget through? And that's going to need some very, very careful negotiation. So it's a big, big task ahead of him.
So you said it was going to be difficult to get politicians on the left to join his broad church. What sort of approach could Barnier adopt if he is serious about getting those leftists on side?
I think he'll have to go for sort of goodwill, responsibility. This is a sort of national crisis. This isn't the time for playing strong partisan politics. People who want to contribute to moving things forward, to getting France out of this crisis, at least for the next year, till new elections can take place, if that's what's going to happen. So he's going to be appealing to people who, I guess, would say in the UK, open-minded, people who aren't necessarily right-wing people, but who maybe other people from civil society. When Rocard was Prime Minister, he brought in people from civil society who were kind of open-minded. Barnier's talked about skills, so there are plenty of people around with good skills who aren't particularly attached to parties. So I guess he'll be looking around a sort of broad spectrum of people to bring in.
Now, there has been a lot of talk of Marine Le Pen's far-right national rally being something of a kingmaker in these discussions. How much power do you think the far-right could wield in Barnier's future government?
Well, they're obviously playing on that a lot. And in a sense, they're playing a more subtle game than the Nouveau Front Populaire, because they're saying, well, we'll see. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. Whereas the left has kind of basically said, we'll censure anything that you put forward. We don't want this government. So, but the thing is that if it gets to the national rally wanting to put forward a censure motion, I mean, they can't win that on their own. They would have to have votes from the left, and previously the left has never supported any of the national rally's censure motions, whereas the national rally did support censure motions from the left. So obviously they're wanting to put forward this, what a strong position they're in, but I think it's not quite as strong as they are trying to make out.
And of course, it is very early days for Michel Barnier, nominated only on Thursday. It's important to remember he's from the Républicain Party. They came fourth in legislative elections over the summer, 2 months ago. What sort of popularity ratings are we expecting for this Prime Minister?
Well, I'm not sure that that's going to be the kind of, well, I know France loves popularity ratings. I don't think that's going to be the key thing. I mean, he's unlikely to be popular in the way that Attal was popular. He's got such a difficult task ahead of him that he's going to be struggling to sort of win the popularity contests. But I think he probably sees his job as not being popular, but being efficient and effective, and trying to actually keep the show on the road, as it were.
Susan Collard, Senior Lecturer in French Politics and Contemporary European Studies at the University of Sussex. Thank you very much indeed.